Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lakers Talk with Gerald. This is episode 64. We're making this episode. I'm in the city of Miami right now. We are chilling. You can hear the background noise from all the different things that you're hearing. It's the city noise, the city lights, big dreams, big city. It's a lot of people out here, but man, I'm right by the airport, so you can hear the planes flying by. That lets you know that this is real. You hear things in the background, that means it's real. All the other podcasts out there, they're in their studios. They don't get out. They just stay inside. They're not trying to, get out and see the city, talk to people. And, not just the city, the country. You know what I mean? That's me. That's Gerald, Lakers Talk with Gerald. So here we are, episode number 63. Let's get it. A few topics that I want to talk about this time. The topics that I really want to talk about is Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart was on a podcast. That's one of the things I want to talk about. What they discussed, some things that Josh Hart said that he's been getting a lot of flack over. And I want to discuss that too. And I want to discuss what Lonzo Ball talks about too, dealing with BBB, Big Baller Brand. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little bit about what the Lakers season looked like. How strong are we with Dwight Howard? Is he starting? Is he coming off the bench? Who knows? And then I want to talk about kind of the landscape of the NBA, the landscape of the Western Conference. I want to see, just kind of talk about what we have. All right, everybody, let's kick it off with that first topic. Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. I believe it's Josh Hart's podcast, right? And so I guess he has this guy. He's a host. I don't know his name. It was him, Josh Hart, and Lonzo Ball. They all sit around. They talk about things. The guy asks questions. They're drinking wine. Looked like Josh Hart had some red wine. Don't know. Lonzo Ball had some kind of light wine, like a Chardonnay or something. I'm guessing. I'm presuming. Lonzo Ball seemed like a Chardonnay type of guy. And Josh Hart seemed like he got a Merlot from Oregon or something. I guess that's what it is. That's how he get down. See, I even give you the type of wine. I mean, that means I'm an elite podcaster. That's what that means. That means you guys are going to continue to listen because I am fantastic. So, all right, enough about me, talking about me. But back to that. Lonzo Ball said that a few things. One of the things he said, he talked about his shoe. He said, Big Baller shoe. Remember back at last season when the season Lonzo was wearing his Big Baller brand shoes, right? And at first, he started out wearing his shoes in the beginning of the season. And then all of a sudden he started wearing like different types of shoes like Jordans and the Kobe's and this and that. And then his father tried to like promote it and say like, oh, in Big Baller Brand, you can wear whatever you want to wear. You don't have to wear, you're not constricted just wearing these shoes. That was his excuse. That's what he used to try to say they got freedom to do whatever they want to do, unlike the other brand. But in reality, what it really was, Lonzo Ball spilled the beans. Lonzo Ball said that those shoes wouldn't even last it wouldn't even last a full game. He said he was changing out those shoes every quarter because they would just split. They would bust open. They wouldn't even last. He couldn't even play in those shoes. Guys, think about this. Big Baller Brand, they were talking about selling these shoes for $400 or $500. People had to order, pay all that money. If he knew these shoes were busting, he was just thinking about himself. He ain't gonna let the cat out the bag at the time. His dad is running everything. His dad done talked it up forever. His dad done said all this stuff about Big Baller Brand. He can't talk. He can't say nothing. He can't say that it busted. So, I can't necessarily blame him, but he was saying that he had somebody, a friend of his, or not necessarily his friend, but maybe his business partner that works with him, had him basically had 5 pairs of shoes, and he would change out Big Baller Brand shoes every quarter because that's how sorry they were. Whoever they were having them made, they just sucked. That's what it was. So I want to know what you guys think about that. What you think about those shoes being that bad where he had to change them out every quarter. And now that this is coming out after all this time, some people think, oh, that's fraud. You know, y'all sold this product, had people buying it, spending this much money, and now you're telling me you knew the whole time that this was a garbage. He said himself that he said, look, I'm not wearing these shoes no more. I'm done. I'm not wearing them. And that was the reason why he started wearing the Jordans and the Kobe, because they were like, no, just wear a different brand every game. You know, that's how they were going to throw people off. And that's what he did. So looking back, it's funny to me. I'm glad he said that because I love to hear people talk and say real stuff. I do. I love to hear people say real stuff and real things. But then you laugh at it like, oh man, that's funny. Oh man, I can't believe that. Oh, that's cool. But then you're like, wait a minute, let me think back. Did I buy a pair of those? I bought some of those and they split. Or other people that bought them, spent all that money, waited for them forever, and they're garbage. Maybe you should have said something back then. Maybe there should have been some recall. Just like anything. Let's say if you buy a brand new Lexus, okay? And then 8 months later, a year, 2 years down the line, they find out that the airbags don't deploy. And they're supposed to, because that's what saves your life. And, you know, you get something in the mail. You get something saying, hey, there's been a recall. Send your car in, and we will replace that airbag free of charge. Nothing for Big Baller Brand. Okay, all right. What else? You know what I mean? So what other things in a car? A bunch of other things happens in a car. They send a recall. They fix it for free. Nothing with Big Baller Brand. Now at the same time, I don't know. It's not necessarily life or death when it comes to shoes. You know, airbag deploying in a car, that's life or death. You know, you need that to deploy to save your life. Now, you could break an ankle if this thing splits on you. You could, a ton of serious injuries could happen if these shoes let out on you. Now, I don't know if there's been any complaints. I don't know if there's been any kind of things in recent history, but I have to believe that now that has come out, there are going to be people coming out the woodworks. All right, mark my word. There are going to be people coming out the woodworks in the woods, wherever they are, even if nothing happened to them. They're going to be like, whoa, I bought Big Baller Brand. You know, I twisted my ankle in them. I did this. I'm about to sue. They're thinking, cha-ching, I'm a sue. Even if nothing happened, they're going to claim something. They're going to go bust their shoes, say they've been sitting in a closet. They just didn't think nothing of it until Lonzo Ball said that. Think about that, everybody. That is a possibility. I mean, not only a possibility, I'm claiming it now. I'm the first person putting it out there. I haven't heard nobody else say this or talk about this. And I'm going to get credit for this, okay? September 7th, 2019, Gerald Cross, Lakers Talk with Gerald. I said it first, okay? All right, so, I mean, I want to hear you guys' comments. I want to know what you guys think about that. Do you think Big Baller Brand altogether? We all know that, if you don't know, Lonzo Ball does not support Big Baller Brand anymore. He used to have a tattoo on his arm. He got that covered up and changed out for something else. And he, even if you watch his show, he even told his dad that Big Baller Brand is pretty much done. You know, and he's not supporting Big Baller Brand. So if he's not supporting it, it's nobody, his dad is not enough to get that done. So that means that's pretty much done. So yeah, interesting. Let me know your thoughts on that. Next up, Lakers. Where do we stand? Man, we signed Dwight Howard. I mean, I was thinking that we were just signing Dwight Howard just to be a backup. And I was like, man, this is a damn good backup. This is the best backup that's available out there. We need to sign him. And I was glad that they did, because he was the best out there. He was the best available, in my opinion. Now, I don't know where his mental state is, but I just mean physically, what he brings to the table, what he can do offensively, what he can do defensively. He's the best available. And the things that I really liked about him that I thought brought to the table were on offense, he's an instant lob. All they got to do is when LeBron drives, somebody drives, they throw it up to the basket, and he's out. He can jump out the building. He's still very, very athletic. He can still get up there and dunk anytime. And then the other thing was that his defense, his rebounding, he's always been a rebounding guy, so that's not a worry. But the blocks, that's what I was looking for him coming off the bench. Give me 1 to 1.5, 2 blocks a game coming off the bench, and we win. That's all we need, and we win. That's better than what we had last year. That's better than what most teams have coming off the bench. And so, like I said, I was thinking, JaVale McGee, he worked his butt off last year. When he started last year, he was, he had the first probably quarter of the season, he led the NBA in blocks. Or, for at least the first month or so, he led the NBA in blocks. And he ended up having his highest numbers in blocks, numbers in rebounds for a little while, and points. But of course, the year happened. As the year started going, he got sick, things happened, and of course, those numbers came down a little bit or a lot. But he still had really good numbers. And so I kind of was like, okay, I'm thinking JaVale McGee should start. Well, somebody even mentioned to me, actually, my brother James mentioned this on one of the podcasts, if you listen to it. He said, he thinks Howard can win out the starting spot. And I don't know why I didn't consider that, but that is a viable, really, really real and true thing that very well could happen. As a matter of fact, actually, I started thinking about it even more. I was like, wait a minute. That would be a crazy starting lineup. Think about this. You got Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. I'm thinking Danny Green. And then for the guard, it'd have to be probably either like a Avery Bradley or, I don't know. Let's just say Avery Bradley. Yeah, we're going to use him because, I think that would be good. But you can throw in a few of our guards in there. We got very many options, okay? But I started thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. We would have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard, like 3 super athletic guys. These guys can it's highlight reel after highlight reel. One of them drives, lob it up, just throw the basket up, and either Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard's dunking it. And on the other end of the court, somebody drives to the basket. If Anthony Davis doesn't swat their shot, you got Dwight Howard coming to swat their shot. Just think about that. That is crazy. But really, at the same time, I like balance, okay? And so when I say that, I mean balance from the starting core to the back to the bench, okay? And so I'm thinking that's another reason why I think Dwight Howard might actually be good coming off the bench, because maybe we need him coming off the bench to provide all that to the secondary bench, people coming off, and that might keep the Lakers' offense flowing. But let's not forget JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee is a good shot blocker also. So Lakers essentially got 3 guys that are damn good at blocking shots. So to me, this all bodes well for the Lakers. Dwight Howard has a non-guaranteed contract. Lakers could cut him at any time if they feel that he's causing a disruption to the Lakers and the team. And to me, it's a win-win. It's a win for Dwight. I want to see him back, second chance. I want to see if he can, he doesn't have to be the man anymore. He doesn't have to be the second best guy. He doesn't have to be an all-star. We just want him to be a supporting role. That's why we were so disappointed in him before and upset, because we wanted him to be an all-star. We wanted him to be a Robin to Kobe's Batman. And he didn't live up to that. Even though he averaged about his numbers, give or take, he averaged somewhere around like 17 and 12, which is pretty damn good, but we were kind of wanting Shaq numbers. That's where we kind of went wrong. We were expecting Shaq numbers, and we got Dwight numbers. Now, we would be super happy to get Dwight numbers for what we got, because we got LeBron James. We got Anthony Davis. That's the Batman and Robin. We don't need a Batman and Robin now. We just need somebody to come in and do some things for us, do some chores. Come in and get some rebounds, get some blocks. Play a little defense. That's all we need. If he do that now, that's going to make our team that much better. That's my opinion, everybody. That's what I believe. I think the Lakers are in a good spot. And, I'm ready. I'm excited for this season to start. Another thing that, the next topic that I wanted to talk about was competition. How the Western Conference look like. How does the Western Conference stack up? How do the Lakers look in the Western Conference? Where we're going to rank at. I kind of talked about that before in one of my other podcasts. All right, another plane coming by. Like I told you, I keep it real. We do podcasts outside. Other podcasts don't quite do this. But, hey, that's what we do with Lakers Talk with Gerald. All right? So, like I was saying, is that where do the Lakers stack up? Where's the Western Conference? Well, I think when I did that whole ranking of the Western Conference, I said the Lakers first. I said the Clippers after that, and I said a bunch of other teams. I forgot some teams, so I'm actually going to admit my wrongs or make some corrections to some previous podcasts. I left out some teams. I forgot about Portland Trailblazers. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to beat. Last year they were in the top 4. The last couple of years they were right there, so you can't count them out. So they're probably going to be in the top 5. The other episode, a couple of the things that I messed up also in the last episode, I kept saying Eddie George when I was talking about who Kobe was competing against and who Kobe played with back in the day when he first, his rookie, sophomore year and years after that. And it was Eddie Jones. So I'm sure if you know the Lakers, and every time I said Eddie George, and I went back and listened to it, and not that I messed up once, twice, I must have said Eddie George about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. I don't know. It was not Eddie George. I mixed up a couple players. Lakers didn't have a person named Eddie George. It was Eddie Jones. Okay? Eddie Jones. My mistake. That's the guy I was talking about. And yeah, if there's any other things, let me know. Go ahead and post something, say something. Put it on YouTube, put it on podcast, make a comment. And I'll tell you what, I will respond to you. Yeah. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. That's going to wrap this up for episode 64, Lakers Talk with Gerald. And I am now officially out.